All right, today we're going to be covering multiplying and dividing decimals. Decimals are fun. And they're not that hard. They may seem to confuse some people, and they do, but there are just a couple of keys that will help you out. I'm going to cover a couple of those in this one. I already did the adding and subtracting with the key there, so you can check that video out if you still have questions. But this time, multiplication and division. No problem. So over here I have some stuff set up for you. We're going to do some multiplying and cover several different scenarios that may pop out at you. And over here we have some division ones already laid out for you that we'll get to. But the key to multiplying and dividing decimals is for the multiplication, the key is have the same number on top, same number on bottom. What I mean by that is that whatever number of digits are to the right of the decimal in the top, this would be the top, answer would be the bottom. So up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to end up having 5 decimal places in our answer, or we did it wrong. And then here we have 1, 2, 3, so our answer on the bottom needs to have 3, and we just have 1 here, so our answer only needs to have 1, only allowed to have 1, so it has to be the same. Over here, for this, move the outside, move the inside. So we're going to be moving the decimal here and then moving the decimal here. Remember, decimals are kind of unruly, they get kind of ugly. Talked about that a little bit last time. So here we don't let them outside. We don't want them outside causing trouble. So we move it over, move it over. Here we move it 2, then we move it 2 on these examples here, but we'll get to that in a second. That's just a little preview. So let's go ahead and dive in. So as we get over here, starting up here, we notice that 25 times 1 2/10, or 1.2. So we just multiply. First of all, as we line them up, we just line up the numbers. We don't worry about the decimal. Adding and subtracting, we want the decimals in line, but notice these can go whichever way. It doesn't really matter. And you can forget about the decimals at the first start when you're just getting the arithmetic going. 2 times 5 is 10. Write that a little thicker for you. 2 times 2 is 4, add 1 is 5. Now I'm in the tens place. 5 there, 2 there. Add. So I have this as my answer, but I'm not finished. I have to figure out where the decimal goes. So assuming that the multiplication is correct, now we just count the decimals. Well, here we have 1, and there's none on the top. There's no decimal places on the top on the right side. So we just go 1, so we start clear over here. We go 1. So our answer then would be 30. No problem. Unless they want you to use the numbers after the decimal place for accuracy and those kinds of things. Sometimes when you're doing certain measurements, they need to be accurate to a certain degree, then you would include the zeros or whatever numbers happen to be there. Okay, let's try this one. What if we have a decimal in the top and a decimal in the bottom? Well, let's just try that. Again, just ignore the decimals. Notice they don't have to be in line for multiplication or division. They only have to be in line for adding and subtracting. So 5 times 7 is 35. 15, 16, 17, 18. And that's just 0, so we don't even really need to do that. But I will here in just a second to show you something. So here we have 1, 2, 3. 3 decimal places on the right-hand side of the decimal, so we need 3 in our answer as well. Same on the top, same on the bottom. Same on the top, we have 3. Same on the bottom, we're going to need 3 here too. So we start here, so our answer will be this, 185 thousandths. But let's say, what if we went ahead and used the 0 and just multiplied everything out anyway? Well, you can sure do that. Let me get this out of the way. If we were to do that, 5, 35, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now, if we went ahead and put our 0 there because we're in the tens place, 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0, 5, 8, 1. We're still in the same boat. We still have to figure out where our decimal goes. See, so it doesn't help you in this case. Some cases it will. It'll give you that extra decimal place, but in this case it doesn't. It's just as easy to do the first part without the 0 there, and then count the 1, 2, 3, have that there for our answer of 185 thousandths. All right, so let's try the other one. Notice this one looks kind of ugly at first, all those zeros, and that's okay. Just write them there. Again, they don't have to line up, and let's just do that. So we have 12, and that comes down to, whoops. Well, that was fun. Don't you love when you do that? All right, so 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Okay, so now how in the world are we going to figure this out? We have 3 here, 1, 2, 3. And we have 2 here, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 total on the top. How do we get 5 out of that? Well, where's the decimal now? Just like in the other ones, a whole number has a decimal there. We just don't write it all the time. It's understood that it's there. So we need 5. So you just count out 5. You just zoop it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where it is. That's where it was. And then notice the little zoops. I do this a lot. The little zoopies just look like they're trying to hold a 0 there. And sure enough, that's what they're doing. So you need to fill those up with a 0, 0, 0. So the answer to all that would be this. You would have 3 zeros and then 12 after that. And that would be your answer. So again, it's just write it down just like you do regular multiplication. Don't worry about the decimals until you get to the end. Once you figure out what the numbers are, then you can count how many are on the right side of the decimal. On the top, this is the top, this is the bottom. So same on the top, same on the bottom. And hopefully that makes sense to you there. Now let's go on to division. As we go here, we're going to start with this one. And again, as this one was same number on top, same number on the bottom, here it's move the outside, move the inside. And I'm going to add one more, but it's just for your help. We don't want this on the outside. Decimals we don't like on the outside. It gets weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to move that over here to where the decimal's there now. And because it's a whole number 5 now, the decimal pretty much just goes away. But we have to do it on the outside. We have to do it on the inside. So we go here and move this as well. And what I do is I would automatically go up here and put that decimal in place real nice and big and obvious, so I don't solve my whole problem, solve the whole situation, forget my decimal, then go in there and try to figure out where to pocket in there. Because I will probably put it in the wrong place. If I'm in a hurry, if I'm writing kind of sloppy or something, I'll probably stick it in the wrong place because I'll be in a hurry or whatever. But if I put it there first, then it's there, it can guide my whole answer, and I'm good to go. So 17 divided by 5, sure enough, that'll go in there 3 times. Subtract, that is less than this, so I can bring that down. And then that's 5. See the decimals there? It already lets me know that this is that. This is the 0.5. And yay, we're done there. All right, so our answer would be 3 1/2, 3 5/10, 3.5. The decimal already lets us know what that is because I did it ahead of time. Okay, now let's try this one. No, we're going to save that one for last. Let's go over here. Well, here we have 2 on the outside. Okay, well, that's okay. Same principle, move it on the outside. Whatever, however you need to get it to the back. So you moved it 2 on the outside, 2 on the inside. You got to move it on the outside, move it on the inside. So we go 2 here, and we go, oh, we only have 1 number. But that's okay. That's where the zoops come in. And again, I'm just going to put this up here. That just looks like it's aching for a 0, and sure enough it is. So I'm going to put 1 in there. Now we can just divide normally. Will 9 go to 4? No. 46? Yes. 9 times 5 is 45. 1 is less than 9, so I just bring down my 18, and we go in there 2 times. 0 is less than 9, but notice this is the 8 that came down. We have 1 more digit now we have to bring down. We can't stop at 52. If I didn't put this decimal here and I wasn't writing super clearly, I would probably just think 52 and go on, unless I did a reality check or something. But I need to bring down this other digit that we added here to make everything equivalent as it was in the first place before we moved anything. So 9 divided by 0 is 0, divided by 9 is 0, 0 times 9 is 0, and I get 0, yay! So I'm all done, 520. The decimal there reminds me that I'm at the end. And if I have to go out to an accuracy again, like earlier I was talking about, to tenths or hundredths, I now know where to start counting those tenths, hundredths, if I needed to, depending on whatever the situation was.